Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, all of the lecturers of Faculty of Economics, the University of Jakarta. My name is Dyah Widawati from the Economics Education class in 2018. In this opportunity, I will present my research plan proposal with the title is the Strategy Development of Small and Medium Enterprises during the COVID-19 in the sector of coffee shop culinary industry in Bogor City. There will be several topics that I will convey. The first is the background of the problems, the second is the literature study, and the last is the research methods. Okay, first about the background of the problems. Starting in March 2020, when the first time of the COVID-19 virus has been in Indonesia, the pandemic had some negative impacts, especially on the economic sector. So, in the end, several policies were enacted by the government to reduce the rate of spread of the COVID-19 virus. The government's policies turned out to cause problems for businesses in the midst of a pandemic because the majority of SMEs are required to obey the rules by temporarily closing the business they have. This also has an impact on the increasing unemployment, closing the business they have. This also has an impact on decreasing unemployment rate due to the number of employees who experience job cuts. The decrease in sales turnover is also one of the reasons some SMEs prefer to cut employee ties and close their business in the midst of a pandemic. Rebuilding a business that had experienced a decline is quite difficult for an SME owner. Some problems faced in running a business ranging from a lack of innovation, a lack of management and marketing skills, and to reduced quality of human resources. So, in developing SMEs in the midst of pandemic conditions require the right strategy as an acceleration to revive the SMEs that can simultaneously drive the local economy, especially in the Bogor city. Based on Indonesia Economic Report in 2020 by Bank Indonesia, explained that Indonesia's economic growth, especially the domestic economy, cannot be separated from the strategic role of SMEs. Even the SME sector plays a role in encouraging economic growth ranging from high labor absorption to a large contribution to gross domestic product. So, based on a little description, it can be concluded that it is needed some policies related to development strategies carried out by coffee shop owners in Bogor City to re-energize the local economy. Okay, this is data from the Central Statistic Agency in 2017, which shows that the contribution of business wealth to gross domestic product reached 13,589 trillion rupiah, and there is 20.16% belongs to the processing industry, 13.14% belongs to agricultural sector, and 66.70% belong to other business sectors. And here is data from Bapeda Bogor City with data in November 2020, where it is known that as many as 8.7% of SMEs in Bogor City closed or went bankrupt in the midst of the pandemic. As many as 5.8% of SMEs in Bogor City prefer to change business types, and as many as 85% of SMEs in Bogor City are still running in the midst of a pandemic. And from the result of the survey, it was found that 81.2% of SMEs in the city of Bogor experienced a decrease in income during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the right strategy is needed that can be one of the effort for other SMEs in facing economic problems in Indonesia. Okay, next, this is the data from Bogor City Cooperative and Small and Medium Enterprise Office, which shows the total data of Bogor City SMEs in 2020, which amount to 27,377, and the total SME Bogor City in 20 and 21 as many as 45,000. It experienced an increase of 17,623 SMEs in the city of Bogor. The cause of the increase in numbers can be due to job cuts in the midst of pandemic, and people prefer to open their own business as an alternative way. From the data, it is also known that out of a total of 45,000 SMEs in city of Bogor, 75% of them are SMEs in culinary business, 5% of creative economy business owner, and the rest are engaged in the field of event organizer and other services. With the majority of SMEs engaged in the culinary business with a figure of 75%, it shows that SMEs, especially in the culinary business field, are quite influential on economic growth in the city of Bogor. Okay, next here are 3 points of problem formulation that will be discussed in this study. The first is how the business strategy carried out by SMEs, especially in the coffee shop culinary industry before the COVID-19 pandemic. And the second is what is the role of the coffee shop culinary industry in boosting the local economy in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the third is how the business development strategy carried out by the coffee shop culinary industry in maintaining business in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic based on SWOT analysis. And next, there is the purpose of this research is based on the formulation of the problems that have been discussed, namely to find out how the business strategy carried out by SMEs, especially in the coffee shop culinary industry before the COVID-19 pandemic, and second, to find out the role of the coffee shop culinary industry in reviving the local economy in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and to find out the business development strategies carried out by the coffee shop culinary industry in maintaining business in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. There is based on SWOT analysis. Okay, next. There is the benefits of this research will be first of which is useful for SMEs owners, especially coffee shop, where this research can be advice and recommendation for coffee shop owners in developing their business amid economic problem in Indonesia. Then the benefits for the Bogor city government can be advice and recommendation in taking policies related to SMEs in the city of Bogor, that especially the culinary industry has an important role in improving the local economy. And the third, for the next researches is expected to be a reference material for those who will conduct research on SME strategy analysis using SWOT methods. Okay, next. There are 3 points that will be discussed that related to development strategy theory, small and medium enterprise, and also local economic development. The first related to the theory of development strategies. According to S. dan N. Nurjaman in 2017, it is explained that business development strategy is long-term value creation for consumers as well as methods connected to tests and processes in analytical preparation for potential growth opportunities. According to Stone, Freeman, and Gilbert Jr. in Literate in Indonesia 2020, it is revealed that the concept of strategy is defined based on 2 different points of view, including the point of view of something you want to run and the point of view of what is ultimately done. And according to Andrianti in 2021, explained that the development strategy is an activity that aims to achieve a goal in the organization in the hope of achieving these goals through effectiveness and good cooperation in a business. Next is the theory of small and medium enterprises. In general, small and medium enterprises or SMEs are a term that indicates a business that managed and run by a person or group. Small and medium-sized business, especially in the culinary sector, have many opportunities that can grow the national economy. Even the management of the culinary sector creatively can provide a domino effect for other sectors, and small and medium-sized business are considered one of the key factors for the success of Industry 4.0, and small and medium-sized business also tend to have their own characteristics related to the introduction of information technology in general, and the SMEs that will be researched here is the coffee shop. Coffee shop is a business plan in the field of coffee that is being hit among the younger generation to the elderly. The growth of coffee shop has begun to increase not only in big city, but now there are many coffee outlets in every city in Indonesia that continue to grow and have different standards and markets. Bogor City has a considerable number of coffee shops ranging from simple to those that have a luxurious concept. Even today, there are still growing new coffee shop outlets in Bogor City, so it is expected that the presence of coffee shop at this time can have a big impact, especially in growing the local economy, especially in the Bogor City. And then discussing the development of the local economy obtains several theories. The first is that local economic development is one of the efforts to maximize local resource by the intervention of business, government, local communities, and community organizations to develop the economy in a particular region. And quote from the book entitled Human Development Strategy and a Local Economic Perspective, it is explained that Edward J. Blackley defines local economic development as something that includes natural resource, labor, capital, investment, transportation, entrepreneurship, industry, communication to national government support. And the World Bank defines local economic development as a process by which public, business, and non-governmental sector partners work together to create better conditions for economic growth and working generation. Okay, previously there was a theory I got that explained there are several aspects that can be seen from the contribution of SME sector to economic development, especially the local economy, including labor and cross-regional domestic product. Here is a table that shows the number of workers working according to employment obtained from the BPS website of Bogor City, which last year was here in 2015. In the table, it is known that the industrial sector that absorbed the most labor in the large trade, retail, restaurant, and hotel industries when compared to other industries. This can be concluded if more job choice in an industrial sector will be aligned with high vacancies or job for workers and need expected to increase economic activities that can later improve welfare. Next, there is a PDLB data, or gross regional domestic product is one of the indicators used to assess a performance in an economy. Even the small and medium enterprise sector is known to be one of the largest sectors contributing to increase gross domestic product in Indonesia. Based on the table data, it is known that the growth rate of PDRB Bogor City It is known that the growth rate of PDRB Bogor City, according to business field in 2020, especially in the industrial sector, with the category of providing accommodation and drinking food, state that the growth rate of PDRB has increased. The accommodation and drinking sector achieved a GDP growth rate of 1.81%, which in that year was the first year of the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic outbreak in Indonesia. However, the culinary business sector of food and drink provides still shows that the sector can continue to survive amid economic problems in Indonesia. Okay, next, there are some previous studies that discuss business development strategies. First, research with the title Small Industrial Development Strategy, case study of managing super Pak Muji Seminar chips. With the result of research, Pak Muji super Seminar chips using a simple marketing strategy that is with a word of mouth system. And the strategy turned out to be quite effective for the crackers industry. And the second research is with the title of SMEs Development Strategy in Jakarta Province. With research result, several ways are done to develop SMEs are not only charged to SMEs themselves, but must have the support of all stakeholders. And third, business strategy of CV Sampurna in facing software distributor competition in Bekasi with the result of research formulation of strategy in the future after going through the stage of strategy management, input, matching, and decision stage. Finally, obtain market penetration strategy. And next, strategic entrepreneurship model in Bogor City Culinary SMEs with the result of research strategic entrepreneurship management in Bogor City Culinary SMEs has been in good condition. This is based on the average value of each variable. And the last, the research with the title Business Strategy Analysis on SMEs Bamboo Curve in Bandung City with the result of SMEs research in the study applies Porter's generic strategy well. Okay, next is the research method. In the study, the place and time of the study will be carried out in the city of Bogor with an estimated time between February until March 2020 and 22. And the key informant in the study is the founder and co-founder of the coffee shop of attended coffee shop, while the criteria of the coffee shop studied are coffee shops that have been running from before the COVID-19 pandemic and still survive to this day. And the data collection technique used in this study is with qualitative approach with observation research method and in-depth interview in the field, and the data is analyzed in a non-statistical way, and lastly, the validity of the data used by triangulation of data. Triangulation itself is an approach to data analysis from various sources. This triangulation does not have the purpose of finding the truth, but to improve the researcher's understanding of data and facts have been owned in qualitative research, and reliability tests are conducted by auditing the entire research process. The way that is done is by independent auditors, including thesis guidance lectures. And this is done to audit the overall activities of researchers in carrying out research. And next, there is data processing technique. According to the Directorate of Education Personnel, Directorate General of Improving the Quality of Education, Educators and Education Personnel of the Ministry of National Education and Research Methodology book in the field of Muamalah, Economics and Business, it is explained that data processing technique and qualitative research are carried out with several stages, including data reduction, data verification, and data validity testing. And the first, data reduction is a process of selection, concentration of attention, simplification, and process of data transformation through data obtained from interview result by researchers. And verification itself a step of reviewing field record by reviewing back. And in the study, researchers will conduct data validity with data validity tests, like triangulation. Okay, that's all the presentation of research plan from me. Thanks for the attention. Sorry if there was a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.